bitch, you let me on my own. Ay, I took that dirty now.
Peace. What's good, guys? Let's discuss Survivor Series WarGames for November the 26th, 2022. Overall, this show was not that good outside of the main event. And we only need one WarGames match. And this show right here was proof. And I hope that we do not see another WarGames match for quite some time. We don't need it. We don't. We only need one WarGames match. For the women, it should have been just a 5-on-5 elimination. But instead of tag, it should have been tornado, which would have been a lot cooler. I just don't think that the women really needed a WarGames match. That's just my humble opinion. But hopefully next year's Survivor Series we get more of a mix-up. Seriously. We do not need to have a WarGames-themed Survivor Series. Actually, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, I would much rather not have Survivor Series be WarGame-themed at all. I feel like that should have stayed on NXT, and it shouldn't even have been on the main roster. I don't know why Triple H is trying to make the main roster NXT 1.0. The shit does not work, and we don't need it. So, we kicked the show off with the Women's WarGames match featuring Team Bianca, Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and Mia Yim versus Damage Control, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross. So, Bianca and Dakota Kai, they started the match off first. Then Io Sky, she joined them at number 3. Then Nikki Cross, she came in next, and she started bringing in weapons like kendo sticks, trash can lids. Then Alexa Bliss, she was out for number 4. Then Bayley was out for number 5. After Bayley, it was Mia Yim, a.k.a. Mi Chin. And then Rhea Ripley, she came out. And so the match can finally begin. Oh, no. And then Becky was the final person to come out. So the match officially begins. Bunch of crazy spots on the match. Becky hit a manhandle slam on Kai. So the end of the match came down with Becky Lynch. No, with Bianca Belair hitting the KOD on the cage wall on Bayley. And then Becky, she hit a leg drop from the top of the cage on the Kai through a table for the 3 count. It was fine. I kind of figured that that's what we're going to go for anyway in this. And it was kind of cool that in the Survivor Series conference that they did post-show, Bianca said that she did want to face either Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair. So I thought that was pretty cool. The match was slow. It was sloppy at parts, sloppy at times. There was one spot in the match I didn't fucking like where all the women started to try to do some Tower of Doom bullshit, and it did not work, and I'm so glad it didn't work. I'll say this. The women do not need to take unnecessary spots. They don't need to do unnecessary spots. We don't need to see a Tower of Doom every fucking 5 seconds. We really don't. Overall, the match was okay. So we're backstage. So Jey Uso, he tells Roman Reigns about last night's ordeal with Sami. He even blamed him for the loss in the main event of SmackDown. Roman told him to stop worrying about anything other than the match and said that he will take care of everything. After Jey left, Roman asked Heyman to call Sami. Second match of the night. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at Survivor Series. This match was okay. But AJ had the club with him, Anderson and Gallows, and Balor had Judgment Day, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio with him. So, this was an okay match at best. AJ wins via the phenomenal forearm. It was very anticlimactic. There was no story going into this match, and I fucking hate that. There was a brawl between Judgment Day and the OC, but AJ got the win here, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really do anything for AJ. I'm glad that he does get his redemption, but what else does he get afterwards? I'm loving what they're doing with Dominic Mysterio and Rey. I do think that we'll probably see that feud begin to start probably at the Rumble, because it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. If you haven't caught the Thanksgiving assault that Rhea and Dominic did to Rey, go check out WWE's YouTube channel. It's an exclusive. So yeah, moving on. Match 3, Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. And this match fucking sucked. I didn't even watch the match. So, towards the end of the match, Ronda did a Piper's Pit, and she immediately locked in the armbar, and out of nowhere, like literally, Shotzi just taps. She doesn't pass on anything. She just immediately starts tapping. I'm like, what the fuck? The match didn't even last for like 5 minutes. And this shows you that Ronda does not need to be on top of the division. She just doesn't. She does not need to be on top of the division at all. I would much rather see Ronda Rousey in an actual feud, not for a championship. Ronda does not need the fucking championship. She does not. At all. Ronda has completely devalued the SmackDown Women's Championship. Completely devalued it. And it makes no sense. At all. Period. More backstage stuff. So Sami, he walks into Roman Reigns' locker room. Roman confronts him about his talk with KO last night. So Sami comes clean about everything. Roman asked if he was going to stab the Bloodline in the back. And Sami confirmed that he would never do so. So Roman gave Sami a huge hug before Survivor Series. Before the main event. Match number 4. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. And this match was okay at best. So Seth did a ton of suicide dives in this match. Lashley at one point in the match got a double hurt lock in. There was a lot of sleeping in the match. Also, it came on the part of Seth Rollins and at times, Austin Theory. Towards the end of the match, I did not like this. So, Rollins was getting ready to do a stomp on Lashley. Lashley reversed that into the super. He did a Falcon Arrow, that being Seth Rollins to Lashley. No, to Theory. But while he was in there, Lashley hit a spear, and out of nowhere, Theory just fell on top of Rollins and got the 1-2-3. And now Theory is the new U.S. champion. And I'm like, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck are they doing? What is Triple H doing? This makes no sense. We don't need this. Like, you just recently gave Seth Rollins the championship, I want to say about 3 weeks ago. At least 3 weeks ago. What does this do to Rollins? What does this do for Rollins? Nothing. Austin Theory does not need another run at being the U.S. champion. He doesn't. What the fuck? This does not right his wrong. What happened to him a few weeks ago? It doesn't right his fucking wrong. And it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's self-defeating. Because now Rollins, he has nothing to do. And we could have gave him a longer reign as champion. We could have gave him a longer run. He just got the damn thing. And you're already hot potatoing the championship right back to Austin Theory just to prove a point that he wasn't buried. The guy was fucking buried in every sense of the damn word. He looked like a clown. And this does not do him any justice. What the fuck? I don't understand why Triple H did this. This was a complete and utter dumb booking decision on Triple H's part. Seth Rollins should have retained. No questions asked. This makes no sense. Rollins is a babyface, slowly becoming one. Lashley, same thing, outside of the Lesnar stuff at Crown Jewel. But this does nothing for Seth Rollins. It does nothing for Austin Theory. It doesn't make him any more likable. He's not any more over than he was. I mean, he was getting over when Vince was there, but this just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. And then Triple H had the nerve to say during the Survivor Series conference post-show, saying that, well, now Austin Theory is being rebuilt again. He's now at the top again. He's now being rebuilt. I'm like, what the fuck? Moving on. So, Jay, he was speaking to Roman backstage, who told him that he trusted Sami and that they'll just have to see how it all plays out. So, the main event, the men's WarGames match, that being the Bloodline and Sami Zayn versus the Brawling Brutes with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. So, Jay and Butch, they start the match off. Sami Zayn was number 3 to join the match. Drew McIntyre was number 4. Kevin Owens was number 5. Then Jimmy joined before KO. Sammy was there also. KO joined as well. And then Roman Reigns comes out, so the match can finally begin. This is a really good back and forth. Sheamus also got involved as well. So when Roman came in, he started cleaning house with Superman punches and uppercuts. Took out everybody on Team Brawling Brutes. The Usos, they hit a 1D on the middle rope to Butch. And towards the end of the match, Kevin Owens hits a stunner on Roman Reigns, and he's about to win. Sami breaks it up. So Owens and Zayn, they're going back and forth, and Kevin's saying to Sami, "Look, are you really going to side with us? Are you really going to side with those guys? Those guys aren't your friends." And then, Sami Zayn hits a low blow on KO. Then he does a haluva kick. And then he points to Jay. Jay does the splash. 1, 2, 3. The Bloodline win. And I thought that was fucking epic storytelling. And it actually makes a lot of sense. Because now I'm more invested now to see where this all goes. I'm glad this isn't predictable. And it's interesting to see where this all will conclude. Because we know that the Bloodline will turn its back on Sami Zayn. The only question is when. And so this match had beautiful storytelling in this. And I am extremely excited for what comes next with this whole Bloodline, Sami Zayn stuff. I really, truly am. Sami fully turned heel and took out KO. This is great. Overall, Survivor Series WarGames was okay at best. It could have been a lot better. We did not need the women's WarGames match. AJ Styles and Finn Balor, that didn't have any story, so therefore it was lackluster to me. I don't care about the match itself. Austin Theory didn't need to win the U.S. Championship. Rollins should have retained. Ronda and Shotzi should have never happened at all to begin with. And the men's WarGames match was the saving grace that actually saved this horrible show, in my opinion. This show just wasn't that good. It was, like I said before, it was okay at best. So, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'm very invested into seeing what plays out with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline going forward. Peace.
Everybody has a hand, trying to find the